Hey guys, what's up? So, I'm doing a little bit of a different video. I wanted to go over some of the stuff that's coming to ARK soon, and actually in the next patch, but we know with ARK, it never really turns out that way. They usually push things back and stuff like that, but hopefully, if we are lucky enough, and if we're good, we'll get some really nice stuff. So what I'm going to do is give you guys a rundown of everything to expect coming to ARK in the next month or 2 months or so. We have the new creatures, which I'll give you guys brief summaries of what all of these things are for, and you know, situations where they're good, and really only the useful information. I'm not going to read off the entire dossier to you guys. We'll go over the underwater bases, which is probably the biggest thing in the update, because underwater building is something people have been waiting to see for a long time. The tech teleporter and the tech Moses saddle obviously are just two generic things. Tech teleporter, I mean, does what you think it does. Tech Moses saddle, same thing as the tech Rex saddle, basically. The tech power generator is something that's completely different too, and the tech caves as well are like end-game tech caves, which you're going to want information on as well. So guys, different type of video. I'm going to give you some information. If you do want to see more videos like this and you want more information on ARK as I get it, well, then let me know by leaving a like on the video, and well, let's get into this. Alright, so I'm on the dossier site right now for the Equus, which is the first thing that was listed in the ARK changes, and obviously it's basically a horse mixed with like a zebra or some shit. I'll give you guys the information on this now, and we'll just go through it. It's a really good mount to have, obviously, 4 check marks. Guys, just a general bit of information if you don't know. It's actually really good to watch these icons here, because you can see the more check marks, the more efficient it's going to be. And the better it is for whatever. Also, they usually have like an X if you can't do something, so it'll be an X right here basically if you couldn't ride it. So first thing with this creature, it's going to be incredibly fast and be able to outrun like any predator basically, so you're going to want one right off the bat just for that if you want to get around fast, or you want to be like some kind of lone desperado type of thing, you know, like just be a cowboy, I guess. You can even use like the 6-shot revolver that you get in ARK. That's actually kind of cool to think about that now. You could effectively be a cowboy in ARK if you really wanted to. Not sure how I'd feel about fighting things with a pistol, like alligators and dinosaurs. That sounds kind of scary. But they usually do hang out in packs too, so if you do find one, there's probably going to be multiple ones around all over the place. So the saddles themselves that you make for this thing can actually double as crafting stations, and you can make chemical supplies, food, and all kinds of other stuff, but it's not really like it can't make the same stuff you'd get from like a smithy or like, you know, a workbench and stuff like that. You can't really make the same kind of stuff. You maybe like the essentials and like some interesting, I don't know, poisons maybe, if you wanted to poison your arrows and you wanted to tame something while you're out on your own, or maybe some like very basic equipment, but it's not something that like, it's not going to be like the platform saddle where you can put down at like a table and make whatever the shit you want. Like, it's not going to work like that. You're also going to be able to use a lasso, obviously, on these things. They're showing many references to the lasso. I'm not sure how you're going to use it or what it's going to do. Maybe it'll just, like, stick things, or I think I'd just use a bola, to be honest with you, because, you hit something with a bola, it's going to go down, you can get off and then trank it out and do whatever you want, basically. But it's not going to be good to fight with, guys, so don't tame one and think, oh, I'm going to curb stomp a T-Rex in the face, because this thing's more likely to just run away and, you know, leave you behind, because you're never going to catch it unless you're like, what, 500% speed? Next up, we have the lead Scythes, however you say it. I don't know, I'm horrible with pronunciation anyways, but this is the dossier right here, the information you're going to want to know about this big freaking behemoth thing here is it cannot be you can't ride it. See, the X, that's what I was talking about earlier. You can't actually ride it. You can't tame it either, but it's an amazing source of meat, so one would believe that you'd want to have a farm of these around. Let's see what it has to say. So it has extremely succulent meat. First off, right off the bat, it's saying that. And it's not going to be that big. Oh, a surprise given its size. Okay, so that's... all right, so you kill one of these, you harvest it, you get prime fish meat. And a lot of it is going to be high quality, but not all of it will be. So you're still going to get normal fish meat from this thing. You're not going to want to try and hunt these things solo either, because they are still fairly big, I guess. They're not the biggest, but they're still big enough to give you some trouble. They are really strong too, because it has powerful attacks, and it can also swim really, really fast. Like, that's one of the big things that are associated with this. It's a fast creature. It's going to be hard to kill it, obviously. They're rare, and they give prime fish meat. I mean, it's good. It'd be kind of like hunting Moby Dick, I guess, or something. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be hard to find it. Once you find it, you're going to be in for a very, very, very tough fight. So what you would want to do with this creature is, if you can, try and get one stuck inside a water pen, I guess, and then use it as a source of food. Like, you can just harvest them, and the bonus is you don't actually have to kill it to harvest prime fish meat, because they just, I don't know, maybe they just don't care about the meat. I don't know. I mean, that sounds kind of morbid to me, actually, because like, you're harvesting something that's alive. Like, even in a game, that's messed up. Like, I know ARK's not going to be detailed. It'll probably just be like, you know, you punch it, or you use an axe on it and get prime fish meat from it, and you don't kill it. But at the same time, the general concept of mutilating a creature for meat is, that's a touchy subject. I think that's pretty ballsy for ARK to do. You guys let me know what you think about that. That's a little bit controversial, actually. Do you care or do you not care? For me, I mean, it's whatever. It's in a game. It's not a big deal. Like, I can understand. I can see where people would be upset with that kind of mechanic, but at the same time, it's just data. That's all it is. Next up, we have the Ichthyornis, or however you say it. Again, I suck at pronunciation. You guys know this. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know. I can't pronounce shit, so, you know, I'm surprised I can even articulate words right now, to be honest with you. But let's take a look at the dossier for this guy right here. It can't be mounted, but it can be tamed. So I get the feeling that he's going to be a shoulder-mounted creature. We have a lot of those, and I'm really not a fan of the shoulder-mounted creatures, to be honest with you, because, like, they're cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool and all to have them, but at the same time, I never really find a use for them because they're usually really squishy and easy to kill. So I don't know. I've noticed ARK is putting a lot of these things in lately, and like the shoulder-mounted stuff, it is cool, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like, God, you don't want to send it out into battle because what if it doesn't come back? So these creatures, obviously, right off the bat are going to be easy to find because they're extremely noisy. So if you're near a coast anywhere, you will be able to hear them. Now, there is something in this that is like, you know, you can hear it echoing from literally every beacon across the island. They're not going to be loud enough to hear them across the map, guys. I think what they're actually trying to get at is that they're so abundant that, like, no matter what corner of the map you're on, you're going to be able to hear them because, well, you know, there's so many of them all around in the water hunting and eating fish and stuff. They also really only eat fish, and they excel at catching fish out of the ocean. They're also really, really skittish, so don't go thinking you're gonna shoot out fireworks anywhere anytime soon and these guys not run away, because yeah, they're gonna run away or fly away, actually. Actually, when this thing hunts, it reminds me of I don't know what it's called, but one of you guys might know, so if you do know, let me know in the comment section of the video. It reminds me of a type of fish that actually a bird that actually dives into the water and like catches things in its mouth when it goes like mid-dive, and then like just surfaces, floats on the water, and then flies off again from the water. Like, I can't remember, oh, what's the name of it? It's so cool though to watch because I've seen it on YouTube before. Oh, well, you guys let me know. One of you probably know, or majority of you, because I don't know what it is, but apparently we drag like all the experts to the channel, and then they're just like, here's knowledge and information. By the way, I have a PhD in everything. Now, something I don't agree with this creature is ARK has been moving around to give its creatures like the ability to heal humans and do different things. Now, like, okay, don't get me wrong. I agree and don't disagree, or I agree and disagree with it. And the reason why I agree with it is because, well, it's a game, and ARK is not set in our universe, so anything could really happen. Like, you could go take a massive dump and grow a chest full of hair, because that's how that works in their universe. Whereas ours, we go take a dump, I mean, we just gotta, you know, hope we brought our cell phone or something so we're not bored. And yeah, that got weird. But the thing that I'm seeing with this creature is that it will bring you food every now and again, and it likes to give you treats and stuff because, well, it's a very social creature. It wants to be around humans, and it enjoys being on your shoulder. Now, when this creature does give you fish meat, which is what's going to give you it, or what it's going to give you, it'll actually have extra healing vitamins in it. So I assume you can eat it either raw or cook it, and you will have like super meat versus just the generic, you know, I'm going to eat this and then go take a crap. You're going to eat this, heal my wounds, you know, get ready for battle, and maybe shit myself while I'm in the middle of battle because I was too astounded to take a dump like a normal person. I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts on this guy if you have any information about it, or the creature I asked you about earlier where the freaking bird that dives into the ocean. That's freaking badass. Like, that thing is just like the epitome of badass. No shit's given. So let me know some information on it, and let's move to the last creature. So the last creature we have to look at and learn about is the Iguanodon, and actually we saw this creature on a mod I literally just covered. I'm pretty sure actually that was the creature in the cage. You could become a god basically and make like your own habitats and stuff. I covered that. You should check that out if you haven't already, but it was really cool to see that. Like, I thought it was different, but I didn't want to say anything because I was just like, isn't this a non-released creature? But I didn't want to be like, yeah, this creature isn't released, and then find out it was released, but obviously it is not in the game yet. It is currently not available, but will be this month, hopefully, with any luck. Probably not. Either way, let's get into this guy and see what it has to say. First off, it can be tamed, so that is very good. Also, it can be mounted because you can see a survivor on the back of it. So this creature is quadrupedal and bipedal, and for those of you who don't know what that is, bipedal is when you can walk on 2 legs. Humans are bipedal. The Spino in Primal Carnage is bipedal. ARK Spino is quadrupedal. You walk on all 4s. You have 4 feet basically, or you walk on your hands and feet or whatever. And don't do that as a human because it'll give you back problems. That's basically what it is. But while it is in bipedal stance, it can use rapid stabbing attacks with its front spikes. You see these right here? These are spikes. These are like thumb spikes, and they will. It's like the touch of death, man. Like that thing touches you, and they hit you hard enough, you're probably gonna die. And they have a lot of stamina too. Like even when sprinting. So these guys are just meant to run and punch, and run and punch. I'd be kind of scared if I saw this coming at me, to be honest with you. So if you're in a bad situation and you're riding this guy and you need increased speed or maneuverability, you can go ahead and switch this guy on the fly to go into bipedal stance, and in that way it will be able to be more nimble, I guess, and agile. I don't see how in bipedal it would be faster or maybe more nimble, but not faster. I would assume quadrupedal would be a faster stance for this guy because, I mean, you have 4 limbs, you know, moving your body along rather than just standing and running with 2 legs. Like, I would imagine, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I'm kind of on the fence about that. I mean, logic's telling me, hey, if you were quadrupedal, you would probably run faster. So the thumb spikes that we talked about earlier too, that can attack things and basically poke your eyes on and give you a really bad time, you can actually use those to attack plants, and it will get the seeds out of fruits, and then you can go ahead and basically plant seeds and make stuff like food. You know, good stuff. That's probably what this icon right here was for then, the apple and then going into the seeds. Okay, that's kind of cool then, and it's a really, really, really effective fruit harvester too. So you can if you get one of these, I mean, you're never gonna have to worry about getting meat. I mean, who cares about having that freaking bird that'll bring you fish meat and shit? I mean, hey, you could eat a diet of fruit and it won't break the bank because we all know how expensive fruit can be in some areas of the world. Oh man. As you can tell, I don't eat much fruit. Yeah. Anyways, that is it for the Iguanodon and everything you're going to want to know about these creatures that are coming to ARK. If I missed anything, well then let me know in the comment section of this video. As well, let me know if you're going to be taming these guys or not, and what use you can see for your base with the creatures that I've just listed off and all the information that I've given you. And if you have any real life or real world information about these creatures that, well, ARK just got wrong, which they do that a lot, let me know as well. And let's get into some other stuff. So now we move into the tech underwater bases. Now there is really, really, really limited information on the tech underwater bases. However, we do see a Moza with a tech saddle right here, which is a very nice peek at that. We can see a tech underwater base, and the general idea, I would assume this is some kind of oxygen tank. You can see the walls are all fortified. Everything that is here is a concept, obviously, and we've seen this before in the past, but it's kind of cool now that we know what to expect, like the Moza saddle. That's actually really cool to see. That looks badass as hell. You can have an underwater T-Rex, basically, because the Moza is the T-Rex of the ocean. We can see the base here is obviously going to be very, 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 very strong, and everyone and their mom is going to have an underwater base by the time this is all said and done. Like, guaranteed. Everyone and their mom is going to live underwater, because I mean, it's like the end game too. Like, you want to build in the hardest spot ever because people will have a hard time getting to you unless they have tech gear, and you can really hide your base under an ocean. The only problem is, I guess, ARK's oceans really aren't that expansive. Like, you can only go out a little ways and then you hit the invisible barrier or the plasma shield of doom type of thing. So that's probably the worst thing about it. You can't really, like, there's really not that many spots you can go in the ocean. ARK really limited themselves with the underwater gameplay and aspect of the game, so hopefully they'll go ahead and correct that and make some other stuff that are viable. Now, moving into some of this stuff, we really have limited information on anything else that's going to be added to the game that we went through in the patch notes. However, we have a little bit of confirmed stuff. We have a teleporter, obviously, that's going to be very, 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 very pricey. So I would imagine it's going to cost a lot to both operate. and create, but it's probably also going to be incredibly useful to use because, I mean, how many times have you went across the map and you got pissed off because you didn't want to have to go, you know, the 20-minute journey to get metal up in the mountain somewhere? I mean, now you can just teleport there, grab it, teleport back, put it in your base, you know, type of thing. I mean, it will cut travel out entirely if that's how the teleporter will work. Surveillance equipment is also something really unique that I'm happy to see, because I would imagine you can put cameras all around your base. Like, I'll be checking out the dev kit, the next dev kit update, to see if they have surveillance equipment, because, I mean, that's cool as hell. Imagine putting down like a TV screen inside your tech base. You sit down, you know, whatever, you're just talking to friends, and all of a sudden the TV turns on, and you see someone outside just like messing around, or like some kind of threats outside, like an Alpha Rex or something you wanted to get is out and it triggered the camera, or you just see it moseying on across the camera. Like, that's really cool. You guys let me know your thoughts on the surveillance equipment. I think it's a cool idea. And let's move on to the next thing. Underwater bases that are vacuum sealed. If the structure is completely enclosed, all doors are closed, and units per area called ventilator is powered. Then that volume will be free of water and you'll have oxygen. If not, you'll be underwater and won't have oxygen. You can also construct airlocks to provide a method of entering and exiting that doesn't flood the inner compartments. I love the fact that you need to take into account that if you enter your base, you could flood it. I love that they have the idea of airlocks. Like, that is, it's something in Subnautica. You have those big heavy doors that you have to like crank the handle and rip it open. You know, you hear the suction of the air and the seal breaking type of thing. Like, that's something that I'm really looking forward to. And Subnautica has done underwater gameplay almost perfectly, and sound is almost everything when it leads into that. Like, it is. I'm hoping that they went above and beyond for the sounds of the game underwater, because it is going to be incredibly important. Cloaking devices will also be a thing, which is pretty overpowered, but I believe that the tech armor itself should have some kind of cloaking device. Binoculars, nothing big there. Plasma swords, which is cool, we'll have lightsabers. Unnamed tech tier grenade, which I've shown you in the ARK dev kit, actually. Look for my ARK dev kit video on the tech grenade, I think it is. I think I've showcased it. And other armors, like the Moza and Rex, obviously, and the Giga Laser. That's just some more stuff there. So that's basically everything on all of this, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take a look real quick. Nope, I took a look around and I didn't see anything else. So yeah, there's no real information on the tech cave from what I could find. If you do have any information, please leave a comment down below and I'll pin your comment, because, well, it'll be helpful as hell for people that are looking for that information as well. Everything else I've basically covered, and, well, the creature breeding obviously is just something that's self-explanatory. That's why I kind of overlooked that. Now, all of this is scheduled to be released on March 29th. However, at the same time, ARK loves to push their updates ahead. Like, I think the last update was pushed ahead by like a week or some shit, or like 5 days. They push everything ahead really, really bad. And I can say this is probably going to be pushed ahead too, because I cover ARK updates. I've covered ARK updates almost every single time for the last like year, and almost every time I've tried to cover them, they've been pushed ahead, and I've ended up staying awake for almost 3 days at a time at some points, because I'm trying to get these update videos and I don't want to sleep through the update coming out, and, well, you know, bad things happen. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, well, then remember to leave a like. It'll help me out a ton, and I appreciate it an absolute dig ton. If you have any speculation at all about the tech equipment, the tech caves, or how you acquire different pieces of technology, well then, hey, comment section is down there. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and feed that late night video addiction. And I will see you in the next video.